Probabilities Sports Network.
This is a special presentation brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network.
NFL Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Welcome to Come On In NFL Live. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson, and we're brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network. Well, baby, today we are going to the Steel City, baby. That's right. Pittsburgh, PA, baby. Here we come. We're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers, baby. One of the most fascinating teams in the National Football League heading into 2026. And why are they fascinating? Well, because they have a older model jalopy. Nah, not a jalopy, baby. They got an old F-150, baby. That has been changed and kept up, baby. And it keeps on going and going and going. And we are finally through with as the Aaron Rodgers world goes round. Because yesterday, baby, he put an end to all the speculation. He will be back in the Steel City, baby. That's right. A-Rod is back in the building. Mike McCarthy is in the building. Michael Pittman Jr. has been added to the receiver room. DK Metcalf is still that physical freak, vertical threat. Jaylen, Rico Dow, they will be the engines that propel the Steelers' run game. And one of the most underrated tight ends, but reliable tight ends in the league, Pat Freiermuth, is still that middle of the field target. And GM Omar Khan and the Steelers front office, baby, if they haven't done anything, they have made it perfectly clear. The Steelers are not sitting around waiting on the future. The Steelers, my friend, are trying to win right now. But here's the question we are asking today. Steeler Nation, Steel Curtain, Terrible Towers, baby. Get them to waving. Let's go. Hey, has Pittsburgh built a real AFC contender? Or did they build one final veteran gamble around quarterback Aaron Rodgers? I don't know the answer to that yet, but I want you to answer that for me. Steel Curtain, we'll be right back.
From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, this is where football talk gets real. Big plays, big hits, breaking news, game-changing moments. Welcome to Come On in NFL, powered by the Come On in Sports Network. We are bringing you the latest headlines, roster moves, draft talk, injury updates, team breakdowns, and real football conversation, the way true fans live it. No fluff, no shortcuts, just honest analysis, strong opinions, and straight football talk from every angle of the league. Whether it is Sunday action, breaking news, playoff pressure, free agency, or draft season, we are locked in, so pull up, tap in, and join the conversation. This is Come On in NFL, where football fans come to get the juice. Let's talk football.
All right, family, welcome back to Come On In NFL. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson, baby, and you see it right there. Let's get to it, baby. Let's start with the big one. Aaron Rodgers is back, baby, and whether you love it or hate it, or you are somewhere in the middle, you got to admit, this move gives the Steelers something they absolutely needed before they can move forward. And that's direction at quarterback. Now, with all due respect, Steeler Nation, let me know if I'm wrong. But how much confidence did you have in Mason Rudolph for 17 games? Each and every single Sunday. Because if Aaron Rodgers did not sign, the best quarterback in that room is Mason Rudolph. That's the first thing. Before Aaron came back, everything was like, it was like a real cloudy, dark, cloudy day, baby, with a storm approaching. You had the questions about the Steelers' future. You had questions about Drew Eller. You had questions about how aggressive Pittsburgh was really going to be. But Saturday afternoon, once pen went to paper and Aaron Rodgers announced, and it was announced Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod, was coming back, the message became simple. The Steelers are not punting on 2026. They're not calling for a transition year. They are not just developing for tomorrow. No. They are trying to win football games right now, like they do every year. Just win. Now, let's be fair. This is not the prime Aaron Rodgers. We all know that. This is not 2011 Aaron Rodgers. This is not four-time MVP Aaron Rodgers out there moving around, making ridiculous throws off platform, extending every play, throwing lasers from every platform. This ain't that Aaron Rodgers. But what it is, this is still a quarterback who understands coverages. This is still a quarterback who can identify pressure. This is still a quarterback who can protect the football. This is still a quarterback who can get the offense into the right play before the snap. And at this stage of his career, that, my friends, is the key. The Steelers don't need Aaron Rodgers to be Superman. What they need him to be is efficient. They need him to be accurate. They need him to manage the game, take the shots when they're there, and keep Pittsburgh out of bad football. That's what veteran quarterback play is supposed to do. Now, in 2025, Aaron Rodgers' numbers tell us the story. Over 3,300 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, and a passer rating near 95. Though it might not be MVP type numbers like he had in his MVP seasons, but what he did play last year was winning football. And the Steelers can have another winning season if the roster around him is strong enough. And that's where the Steelers offseason becomes important. Now let's talk about the move that hasn't gotten a lot of national attention. And we'll do that when we come right back. Again, this is Come On In NFL, and I am your host, Dolph.
From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, this is where football talk gets real. Big plays, big hits, breaking news, game-changing moments. Welcome to Come On in NFL, powered by the Come On in Sports Network. We are bringing you the latest headlines, roster moves, draft talk, injury updates, team breakdowns, and real football conversation, the way true fans live it. No fluff, no shortcuts, just honest analysis, strong opinions, and straight football talk from every angle of the league. Whether it is Sunday action, breaking news, playoff pressure, free agency, or draft season, we are locked in, so pull up, tap in, and join the conversation. This is Come On in NFL, where football fans come to get the juice. Let's talk football.
All right, family, welcome back. And before we move on to the next segment, let's take a look at the chart here from Aaron Rodgers' 2025 season. 16 games played. He completed 327 of 498 passes for a 65.7 completion percentage. He averaged 6.7 yards per attempt. He had a passer rating of 94.8. He was sacked 29 times. He ran the ball for 61 yards, and he had 1 rushing touchdown. Now, he ranked in the top 15 among quarterbacks in 2025. He was 15 in rushing yards, 13 in passing touchdowns, and tied for 14 for fewest interceptions thrown. He took care of the ball. So the storyline around Aaron Rodgers is veteran protection still showed up in Pittsburgh in 25. The numbers say Rodgers remained a capable starter. He's more than capable. The ongoing Steelers saga continued to yesterday, and the question was answered, will he or won't he? He's back. Aaron Rodgers is back in the building with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, as we were leaving, we were talking about a move that was not talked about enough nationally, and that's the Steelers trading for a former Indianapolis Colts wide receiver, Michael Pittman Jr. That move matters because DK Metcalf gives you power, vertical speed, and the big playability. DK is the guy who can scare a defense outside the numbers. He can win downfield. He can force safeties to respect the deep ball. But in Michael Pittman Jr., you get something different. You get size. You get another physical receiver like DK Metcalf. He gives you a possession target. He gives you a receiver who can work the intermediate area. He gives Rodgers a body he can trust on third down. And that matters because when you have a veteran quarterback, especially an older veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you need receivers who can be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. That's how Aaron Rodgers wants to play now. Think about it. He wants to, first of all, his football IQ, we know, is off the charts. So quick diagnosis. He wants the ball out on time. He wants to use leverage. He wants to attack soft spots. He wants to take the deep shots when the defense gives him the looks. So when you put Pittman with Metcalf, now the Steelers have a more complete receiver room. And not to mention Jeremy Bernard, the young wide receiver they drafted from Alabama. I think that was a sneaky, really good pick. I think that young man is going to thrive with the Steelers. Now, DK Metcalf can stretch you. Pittman can body you. Let's not forget about tight end Pat Freiermuth. Freiermuth, who can work the seams, and the underneath zones. Then there's running back Tyler Warren and running backs Tyler Warren and Rico Dowdle, both who can catch the ball out of the backfield. And all of a sudden, Pittsburgh has an offense that has more answers than it has had in recent years. Now let's get to the heart of Steelers football. When you think about Steelers football, baby, I don't care who the quarterback is. It matters, though. I don't care who the receivers are. It matters, though. But when you talk about Pittsburgh, you better talk about one thing, baby. One thing. Physicality. I'm going to say it again. Physicality. And that brings us to the running back room with Jaylen Warren, Rico Dowdle, and also, most importantly, that's Steelers offensive line. Now, Jaylen Warren is important because he gives the offense balance, as does Rico Dowdle. They both can run with toughness. They both can catch the football, and they both can pass protect. They are above average pass protectors as running backs. They give you that gritty Steelers identity. If Aaron is going to be successful in 2026, Pittsburgh cannot ask him to throw the ball 40 times every week and carry the entire offense. That is not the formula for success. That is the formula for failure. The formula should be as follows. And if you agree, let me know in the chat. 1, run the football. Huh? Why? Why run the football? If they're able to run the football, that opens up what? Play action. Something we spoke about earlier that we all need to start paying attention to. Winning on first down. Because if you win on first down, you don't get to the next thing I'm about to talk about, staying out of 3rd and long. I'm going to say that again. If you win on first down, the majority of the time, you stay out of 3rd and long. That is a very underrated stat that the average fan does not pay attention to. The other formula for success is let Aaron control the game mentally. Let DK and Michael went outside and let Freiermuth work the middle of the field. Then let TJ Watt and the defense go out there and protect the lead. That's the Steelers' clean path for a successful 2026 season. Now, what the Steelers draft told us was they understand that. They went in the draft, they went offensive tackle early with Max Inniture. They added guard help with Jennings Dunker, the guard from Iowa. And listen, if there's one thing they put out at Iowa, is tight ends and offensive linemen. That was a good one. And I've already spoke about Jeremy Bernard at receiver, how I like him. And then there's the 3rd round selection of Drew Aller as a future quarterback piece. Just what, 24 to 32 months ago, Drew Aller was looked at, was looked upon, was being forecast as the best quarterback in the 2026 NFL draft before injuries and circumstances change his draft position in the draft. But I still believe what people were seeing, what we were seeing from that young man that had him being talked about as being the #1 pick of the 2026 NFL draft is still there, and the Steelers get him in the 3rd round. Now, he doesn't have to be forced into starting early when he's not ready. Now he can sit back, he can watch, he can learn from one of the all-time greats in Aaron Rodgers. He can learn from a veteran like Mason Rudolph. So what this draft tells me is that the front office is not just collecting names, they are trying to fix the infrastructure of the Steelers. Because I don't care about names. Names, there are a lot of big name players, but big name players don't win games alone. Structure wins, protection wins, timing wins, defense wins, special teams wins. Would you not agree? So the Steelers, my friend, are trying to rebuild that structure around a veteran quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. As we look at the chart here, some key extensions. Of course, Aaron Rodgers. They also retain one of the best kickers in the National Football League, Chris Boswell. Brought in head coach Mike McCarthy. And general manager Omar Khan has been really aggressive in reshaping this Steelers entire roster. And again, the Steelers walked away from Mike Tomlin, and the Steelers separated. That's why Mike McCarthy is in the building now. And let's look at some of the key offseason additions for the Steelers. They bring in Michael Pittman Jr., who we have talked about. I really like the sounding of Rico Dow to go with Jaylen Warren. That, to me, would be a really good 1-2 punch. They brought in cornerback Jamel Dean, safety Jaquan Brisker, and defensive tackle Sebastian Joseph-Day. And we see the 2026 draft class, Max Inniture, Jeremy Bernard, Drew Aller, Dalen Everett, the cornerback, very sneaky selection there from Georgia. I just told you I love Jennings Dunker. Watched him at the Senior Bowl. Really, really good player. I think if he stays healthy and the Steelers are able to coach him up to his potential, they got at least a 10, 12-year starter would help per minute. And I think eventually he could push to be an all-pro guard in the National Football League. Now, recent depth chart moves for the Steelers. They signed Max Inicher to a 4-year contract, so the rookie is in. They agreed to terms with Chris Boswell. They signed Caden Regin to a 4-year contract. Also, they signed safety Robert Spears-Jennings to a 4-year contract. They signed tight end Jaheim Bell to a 1-year contract. And they signed wide receiver Brandon Johnson to a 1-year contract. So we see who they brought in. Now let's look at some of the departures. Justin Fields is gone. Russell Wilson, Dan Moore Jr., James Daniels, Adam Thielen retired, man, and Raj Plumlee was released. And you see the marquee names. These gentlemen here are going to have to carry the Steelers. Freiermuth, Jaylen Warren, Michael Pittman, DK Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers, but most importantly, Max Inicher and that offensive line up front will have to open up holes for this running game, and they're gonna have to protect the old man, Aaron Rodgers. All right, family. Again, this is Come On In NFL, and I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. Thank you all for being here, baby. Listen, we're gonna take a quick break. It'll be quick, and we'll be right back. And then we're gonna take a trip down memory lane. We'll be right back, family. Don't go nowhere.
This is a special presentation brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network.
All right, family, welcome back to Come On In NFL. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. We're brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network. Do your boy Dolph a favor, baby. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Share on social media, baby. Share on YouTube. Share on X. Share on Facebook. Share on Instagram. Share on X, baby. Share, and subscribe. All right, family. Let's go to chat, because we got a few family members that came in the chat, baby. All right. Bo Davis 1600 says, Aaron is not going to bring us a championship. He's too old. He would look good earlier, but like it late in the season. Let's keep it real, guys. Sanders was our future, and we jacked that up. Bro, it should do even the future in Cleveland. There is no way Shador should be mentioned in the same breath as Aaron Rodgers. I understand what you're saying. Aaron Rodgers is old. He's older. But 25 touchdowns, only 7 intercepts last year. Aaron Rodgers played winning football. Aaron Rodgers won the division. So Aaron Rodgers still can play. The Steelers went out and they identified what they needed. They need to put more pieces around him. Thus, they go out to get Michael Pittman Jr. Thus, they bring in Jeremy Bernard. Thus, they bring in Rico Dahl. Thus, they solidify the offensive line by drafting Max Inicher from Arizona State. So the Steelers definitely are building around Aaron Rodgers, and they're going to make a run for it. They won the division last year. Now they have more weapons offensively. They are more prepared. They have more artillery to go at teams this year on offense. All right. Bo says defense is all we got. Offensive linemen are suspect, especially the run game. That's why each season is different. That's why you invest in a young guy on the offensive line. That's why you invest in the offensive guy. In the offensive line. My guy, St. John the Butler, how you doing? Says Metcalf Pittman is a nasty combo. on paper, it absolutely has an opportunity to be a really nasty combo. And that I keep saying that name, Jeremy Bernard. I really like that kid, man. All right. Both day says Mason Rudolph is garbage, so I pray he doesn't learn anything from that guy. God damn, Bo, man. How you really feel, baby? How you really feel? All right. Yeah, I understand Sanders beat y'all, bro. It's a rivalry. It's Pittsburgh. It's Cleveland. It's a rivalry. It's the AFC North. Things happen. But, let me ask you this, since you should do it, fan, and I like you do it too. And I want you, and I want you to be honest with this. When you rank him against all the young quarterbacks last season, where did you rank him? Because he damn sure wasn't in the top 3. And I like you do. Now, I think that what Kevin Stefanski did was kind of messed up too. Especially what it was, that overtime game, when the hell he took him out the game. Do y'all remember that game? I didn't understand that, but Bo, answer that for me, my brother. All right, family. So while we waiting for Bo's response, let me just say this. There's this song that's coming to your boy Dog's mind, baby. It's this old song, and it's called Reunited, 'cause it feels so good. Y'all remember that song? Reunited. And that's what's happening, baby, in the Steel City, baby. Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers together again, baby. The band is getting back together. Now, this is one of the biggest storylines in the league because there is history there. There is success there. There is a Super Bowl there. But there is also pressure there. This is not a young coach and a young quarterback learning together. This is two football men who know exactly what this is. Mike McCarthy knows what Rodgers likes. Rodgers knows what McCarthy wants. They know the language. They know the expectations. They know the pressure. That can be an advantage early because the learning curve should not be as steep. But hold on. Here's the other side. And if you agree, let me know. The NFL has changed. Rodgers has changed. McCarthy has to adjust. And the Steelers cannot just run an old Green Bay greatest hits of all times offense out there and expect it to work in 2026. You can't run a 2011 Nissan Altima. Not even a Nissan Altima. Hell, Nissan Altima. You can't even run a 2011 Toyota Camry offense. You got to run a 2026 Tesla offense. You got to have motion. You got to use formation variation. You got to create easy throws for Aaron, so he ain't got to always play hero ball, throw off platform. You got to create yards after catch. Pittman, Metcalf, Bernard, I think he's going to really excel at that. Make defense declare their coverage and protect Rodgers from constant pressure. That's what they have to do in today's NFL. If Mike McCarthy and the Steelers' offensive brain trust can build an offense that respects Aaron Rodgers' experience, but also fits the modern NFL, the Steelers can be dangerous. I'm going to say it again. If they can build an offense that respects Rodgers' experience, but also fits the modern NFL, the Steelers can be dangerous. But if the offense becomes predictable, slow, or too dependent on Rodgers making magic happen at 42, 43 years old, then the ceiling comes down fast. It don't come down fast. It totally collapses. It totally collapses. Now, let's not forget the other side of the football. They didn't just add offensive pieces, they also made defensive moves. Jamel Dean gives them a veteran corner. Jaquan Brisker adds physicality as safety. Sebastian Joseph Day gives them defensive line depth and toughness. And Pittsburgh wants to compete in the AFC. The defense cannot be average. It has to be a difference maker. Because when you are in the AFC North, you already know. I ain't got to tell you when you're in the AFC North. You ain't getting no Sundays off. Ain't gonna be no soft football. Ain't gonna be straight physicality, brutal football. You dealing with physical football. You dealing with division games that feel like playoff games. You dealing with quarterbacks who can extend plays. You dealing with pass rushers who can just wreck your protection plan. So the defense has to do what? Remember what they say about a good defense? It travels. That's what Pittsburgh's defense has to do this year. They have to be good and they have to travel, baby. Not just there in Heinz Field. All right, baby. When we come back, I'm going to give you my way too early 2026 outlook for the 2026 Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll be right back.
From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, this is where football talk gets real. Big plays, big hits, breaking news, game-changing moments. Welcome to Come On in NFL, powered by the Come On in Sports Network. We are bringing you the latest headlines, roster moves, draft talk, injury updates, team breakdowns, and real football conversation, the way true fans live it. No fluff, no shortcuts, just honest analysis, strong opinions, and straight football talk from every angle of the league. Whether it is Sunday action, breaking news, playoff pressure, free agency, or draft season, we are locked in, so pull up, tap in, and join the conversation. This is Come On in NFL, where football fans come to get the juice. Let's talk football.
All right, family, welcome back to Come On In NFL. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. We're brought to you by the Come On In Sports Network. Well, family, before we went to the break, I said I was going to give you my way too early 2026 outlook for the Pittsburgh Steelers. For those of you who don't know your boy Dolph, I'm going to tell you this. I hate giving predictions on win-loss records in May and June. In early July, when we haven't seen one training camp practice, we haven't seen a inter-squad scrimmage, we haven't seen a joint practice session, we haven't seen a preseason game, 1 or 2 preseason games. But I'm going to take a stab at it anyway. So here we go. So, like I said, let's talk regular season, the regular season outlook for the Steelers. And remember, this is way too early. We haven't seen training camp. We haven't seen preseason. We haven't seen injuries. And we haven't seen how the offense looks live. But based on the roster construction right now, I see Pittsburgh as a team with a realistic range. What I mean is the flow is probably around 7-10 if the quarterback play slips and the offensive line struggles, or the new staff takes time to settle in. The middle range is 9-8. That is the good team, tough schedule, fighting for a wild card range. Now, the strong range, I believe, is 10-7, and the ceiling, if everything clicks, I believe the Steelers can be a 11-6 football team. And if 11 wins happen, a few things must go right for the Steelers. 1, Aaron Rodgers must stay healthy. Must. 2, the offensive line must protect him. You got to keep him upright. 3, Michael Pittman and DK Metcalf must complement each other. 4, Jaylen Warren and Rico Dow must give them balance in the run game. Number 5, the Steelers defense has to be reliable late in games. Can't blow leads late in games. Have to come up with that big stop in games to get the ball back to Aaron Rodgers and the offense. And last but not least, Mike McCarthy has to manage this team cleanly. And here's the big thing. The Steelers don't have to be perfect in 2026, but they cannot be sloppy in 2026. They cannot turn the ball over. They cannot waste red zone trips. They cannot live in 3rd and long situations. They cannot allow Rodgers to get hit over and over and over again. And they cannot lose the winnable games on the schedule, as my boy D was saying, to Cleveland. Because in the AFC, 9 wins might keep you alive, but 10 wins gives you a real shot. So there you have it, family. My way too early feel is this. I will put Pittsburgh in that with the additions. I was gonna say 9, and I'm gonna go 10-7 range. I'm gonna say 10-7 window right now. Good enough to compete, good enough to make the playoffs. Not yet proven enough to call them a true Super Bowl contender, but again, the season hasn't even started. So I believe that's fair. I believe that's honest. So that's where I am, family. So Steelers Nation, NFL Nation, tell me, where do you stand on that way too early prediction or outlook for the 2026 Pittsburgh Steelers? Again, this is Come On In NFL. I'm your host, Doss Jackson. So now, family, let's get to the real question of the show. Did the Steelers build a real contender, or did they build one, like I said earlier, for one last veteran gamble? And my answer is this. They built a team that can contend for the playoffs. They built a team that can be dangerous in the AFC. They built a team that would be must watch because of Rodgers-McCarthy, Metcalf, Pittman, and that defense, TJ Watt. But they have not yet proven they are a top AFC tier team. The tier still has to be earned. You don't get there because you have a famous quarterback, or because you have a historic logo, or because the offseason looks good on paper. You get there because you get there by winning in November and December. You get there by protecting your quarterback. You get there by finishing drives. You get there by beating good teams and not losing to bad teams. You get there by playing clean football when the pressure is at its highest. And that's what Pittsburgh has to prove. But I'll say this. Damn it, the 2026 Steelers damn sure fascinating, aren't they? Wouldn't you agree? Because they are definitely that. They are must-see TV. They are not boring. They are not rebuilding quality. They are not sitting in the middle without a plan. There is a plan. Rodgers is the presence. Drew Aller is the future possibility. Pittman and Metcalf are the outside weapons. Warren is the tone setter along with Rico Dow. Freiermuth is the security blanket. The draft was about structure, and the defense was about adding depth. And the front office, my friends, is clearly pushing chips to the middle of the table. Now we find out if the hand is strong enough. Well, family, when we come back, we'll have our closing remarks. This is Come On In NFL, and this is the Come On In Sports Network.
From the opening kickoff to the final whistle, this is where football talk gets real. Big plays, big hits, breaking news, game-changing moments. Welcome to Come On In NFL, powered by the Come On In Sports Network. We are bringing you the latest headlines, roster moves, draft talk, injury updates, team breakdowns, and real football conversation, the way true fans live it. No fluff, no shortcuts, just honest analysis, strong opinions, and straight football talk from every angle of the league. Whether it is Sunday action, breaking news, playoff pressure, free agency, or draft season, we are locked in, so pull up, tap in, and join the conversation. This is Come On in NFL, where football fans come to get the juice. Let's talk football.
Welcome back, family, to Come On In NFL. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. Thank you all for joining us today here on the Come On In Sports Network. Well, family, it's time for those closing remarks. So my final word on the Pittsburgh Steelers is this. This is not just about Aaron Rodgers in 2026. Now, Aaron is the headline, but the story is actually bigger. The story for me is, can Pittsburgh build a complete team around an aging quarterback and still keep an eye toward the future? The story is whether Mike McCarthy can bring structure, discipline, and offensive clarity. The story is whether Michael Pittman Jr. changes the passing game. The story is whether DK Metcalf can keep defenses honest. The story is whether Jaylen, Rico Dow, can they give them balance in the run game. The story is whether the defense can close games. And the story is whether the Steelers can walk into the AFC North and still be the Steelers. Physical, smart, disciplined, dangerous, built for cold weather football, built for close games, built for January. That, my friends, is what Pittsburgh is chasing. So I'm asking you, Steeler Nation, Steelers fans, NFL fans, are the 2026 Pittsburgh Steelers a playoff team? Are they NFC North champions once again? Or is this one last veteran roll of the dice? Drop your comments. Drop it in the comments. Drop your answers in the comments. Let your boy know where you stand. This is Come On In NFL Live on the Come On In Sports Network. I'm your host, Dolph Jackson. Thank you, family, for joining me today. And I will see you on the next Come On In NFL Live. And remember, family, the doors are now open. So come on in. That means hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share on social media platform. Have a good day, family. We
Come On In Sports Network.